and welcome to examination-based contact class for professional writing. My name is Elizabeth Chimwaza. Welcome to Applied Communication in Policing, Module 3, Code Pold Pw21 in particular. I'm your tutor for Applied Communication and I will mark your assignments as well as the examination for this subject. I wish you all to be hardworking, dedicated, and self-driven students in this course. This presentation will cover the examination questions. General guidelines on writing exams will be explained. Module Assessment Policy. Continuous assessment per semester module consists of one assessment of 120 marks for module of 10 credits. A 50% semester or continuous assessment mark is required for admissions to the examination. A 60% pass is required for practical assignments that will account for 50% of the continuous assessment mark. The duration of the examination of 10 credits is one written paper of 2 hours and a half for 120 marks. A final pass mark of 50% is required, calculated by 60% of the examination mark and 40% of the continuous assessment mark. A sub-minimum of 50% must be attained in the examination. The setting and marking of the examination papers are moderated. Module requirements. The attendance of all contact training opportunities that are organized by Iol is compulsory. Acquire the study guide and all relevant prescribed study material or recommended website information. All assignments must be handed in on time. Students with specific circumstances struggling to meet deadlines should contact Iol in time. All forms of academic dishonesty such as cheating and plagiarism are prohibited. You are encouraged to manage your study time well and engage in learning circles. Focus on understanding, asking what, why, and how questions before memorizing content. Admission to examination depends upon successful attainment of the required continuous assessment mark. Exit learning outcomes. Upon completion of this module, you should be able to evaluate the importance of different styles of writing, practice different styles of writing within a police organization, distinguish between professional writing and business writing, apply professional writing in official communique. Examination questions. These examination questions are discussed as a summary of the assignments. They appear on the tutorial letter for 2019. Here are the following questions. Question 1. Professional letter writing. Remember all the stages in writing a business letter. Pay attention to the correct structure of a letter, including the two addresses. A business letter is a formal letter, therefore you should use a professional tone. A business letter is brief and straight to the point. It doesn't matter which type of letter, be it an application letter or a complaint letter or a complimentary letter or a resignation letter, it has the same structure. Question 2. Report writing. I'm just going to take you through report writing in detail, because report writing is not only required in English. You as a police officer, you are required to be writing reports here and there. So that's why I'm going to take you through report writing in detail. Title page. This will include the title of the report, who has written it, and the date it was written and submitted. Acknowledgement. Forward. Thanks to the people or organization who helped you. Contact page. As in a book, this lists the headings in the report, together with the page numbers showing where the particular section, illustrations, etc. can be located. Executive summary. This is the most important part of many reports and may be the only section that some readers read in detail. It should be written carefully with a complete overview of the message in the report and a clear summary of your recommendations. Terms of references. This section sets the scene for your report. It defines the scope and limitations of the investigation and the purpose of the report. It should say who the report is for, any constraints, for example, your deadlines, permitted length, in other words, your aims and objectives, the overall purpose of your report, and more specifically, what you want to achieve. Methodology, procedures. This section outlines how you investigated the area, how you gathered the information, where from and how much. For example, if you used a survey, how the survey was carried out, how did you decide on the target group, how many were surveyed, how were they surveyed, by interviews or questionnaires. Introduction and background. This helps to tune readers to the background of your report. It is not another name for a summary. It should not be confused with this. They can be two separate sections or combined. Background details should include details of the topic you are writing about. You could take the opportunity to expand on your terms of reference within the introduction, give more details as the background of the report, but remember to keep it relevant, factual, and brief. Findings, analysis. This is the main body of the report where you develop your ideas. Make sure it is well structured with clear stages and that your readers can find information easily. Use paragraph within each section to cover one aspect of the subject at a time. Include graphs or other visual materials. In this section, it will help your readers. The nature of this section will depend on the brief and scope of the report. The section should deal with the main topics being discussed. There should be a logical sequence, moving from the descriptive to analytic. It should contain sufficient information to justify the conclusion and the recommendation which follows. Selection of appropriate information is crucial here. If the information is important to help you understand, then it should be included. Irrelevant information should be omitted. The conclusion of a report. These are drawn from the analysis in the previous section and should be clear and conscious. They should also link back the terms of reference. At this stage in the report, no new information can be included. The conclusion should cover what you have deducted about the situation. The conclusion should cover what you have deduced about the situation. Bullet points will be satisfactory. Recommendations. Highlight any action you need to follow from your work. Your readers will want to know what you should do as a result of reading your report and will not want to dig for information. Make them specific. Recommendations such as, is it recommended that some changes should be made, are not helpful, merely irritating. As with the conclusion, recommendations should be clearly derived from the main body of the report, and again, no new information should be included. The reference or the biography. Reference items referred to in the report. The bibliography contains additional material not specifically referred to, but which readers may want to follow up. This includes the authors. Where did you get the information? If you got it from the book, which book did you use and who is the author of the book? Appendices. Use these to provide any more detailed information which your reader may need for reference, but do not include key data which the readers really need in the main body of the report. Glossary of terms, that are the abbreviation. Provide the glossaries if you think it will help your readers, but do not use one as an excuse to include jargon in the report that your readers may not understand. Question 3, writing an email. These 5 elements must be inclusive in a professional email. Begin with a greeting, thank the recipient, state the purpose, add your closing remarks, end with a closing. Question 4, drafting a memo. Type the subject memorandum at the top of the page. State the document is a memorandum on the onset. Label the page memorandum. Double space between this line and the next line of the heading. Address the recipient appropriately. A memo is a form of business communication, and you should address the reader formally as well. Use a full name and title of the person to whom you are sending the memo. If you are sending a memo to the entire staff, you might write to all employees. Add additional recipients in the line CC line. The CC line indicates who will receive a courtesy copy of the memo. This is not the person to whom the memo is directed. Rather, this is someone you may need to stay informed about policies or issues that are addressed that you are addressing in the memo. Write your name in the line from line. The heading needed to include who is writing and sending the memo. Your full name and job title go in this line. Include the date. Write the complete date. Spelling out the month and include the date and year. For example, date 5 January 2016. Choose a specific phrase for the subject line. The subject line gives the reader an idea of what the memo is about. Be specific but conscious. For example, instead of writing ants for the subject, be more specific by writing ant problem in the office. Suggest the action that the reader should take. A memo is a call for action on a particular issue, whether it is an announcement about a new company product, new policies regarding expense report, or a statement about how the company is addressing a problem. Restate the action that the reader should take in the closing paragraph or the sentence. For example, you might write, all employees must use the new accounting system by 1 June 2016. This can also include some evidence to back up your recommendation. Close the memo with positive and warm summaries. The memo's final paragraph should restate the next step to address the issue at hand. It should also include a warm note that reiterates the solidarity of the organization. Things to remember. Remember always to read and understand the question before writing. Always make a draft. Pay attention to your grammar and spellings. Write each question on a new page. Write clear and neat work. Instructions and information to candidates about what you should do on this assignment. Provide sufficient answers, meaning do not write too much or too little. Also check mark allocated to determine the length of your answer. Try by all means to use your own words and refer to your experience. Make sure your statement ideas make sense of what you intend to do. Remember, the module is professional writing, so you are expected to be doing a lot of writing. Issues of questions where you get to be asked to define organization, define communication. This is not the module. This module you are going to be tested on your writing skills because it's a professional writing module. Do not hesitate to contact me should you experience some challenges in your studies. My contacts are email zabe.chim@yahoo.com. My mobile number is 081 330 6030.